Overnight, the Limewash separated dramatically, so obviously has to be remixed again today to make it usable again for the second coat. Maybe it's just the morning light. It looks much more mustardy almost. It definitely doesn't look like the color that's on the wall, which is fascinating. But it might partly be the yellow from below coming through. Well, so because they say you're supposed to use these kinds of brushes for these after the first coat, I think it's to create more textural sort of swaths of color. So I will do as instructed, even though I'm not sure I agree with it. Wow, that color is so different. How is this the same color? That's crazy. Am I doing the perfect X's like they instruct? Absolutely not. I'm doing it the way I want to do it. You know, I want it much more irregular, random. Thank goodness I'm doing this when there's no floor here, because boy, this is sloppy. Wow, that yellow is still coming through. That really just does want to adhere. But this little bit right here is the undercoat, the underpaint is still coming through. Right here. But that would be remedied if I had done this sort of properly and put a primer coat on first, which I didn't. So thus I'm getting these kinds of issues. Just looking for areas that I have massive drips that I should just sort of wash away. So there we go. Coat 2. Now I have to wait 3 hours before putting another coat on. So did this thing first thing in the morning when I got here, let it dry for 3 hours. I'll put another coat on later today. Today, I've been feeling a bit demoralized because all I've been doing is deconstructing the house, destroying it, removing stuff. And so I decided to do something constructive. So I'm going to start filling in some of these holes just to make it feel like there's some progress being made, and see what happens. See if it makes me feel any better. Okay, I tried this product because I was recommended it, and I'm not sure it's working quite right. I mean, it is working right, it's filling the hole, but I'm not sure I got my mixture right. I mean, it's doing the job, it's filling the holes, and that's really all it needs to do. Yes, I'm dropping a lot on the floor, and that's because the floor is just dirt at the moment, so who cares? I'm sure people are yelling and screaming, going, why am I not just using like straight up like plastic, like putty or anything like that? And it's because these walls are made of basically the same material as this, that I feel like it'll blend in a little bit better than if I use some different material, which might react differently and therefore have a different texture, and so I therefore think it'll be incredibly visible. So the idea is to make things as consistent as possible so that they will end up finishing, sanding, whatever's finishing and painting, taking paint in similar ways. And I'm not doing this one because there seems to be a gas pipe here as, you know, normal gas pipe in a random room. So there you go. Yeah, I have to say it does way better with bigger holes. Yeah. I find it important to always sort of scrape away all the stuff and the loose stuff, because if there's too much of this stuff in there, then whatever you make sure you put in will adhere to the loose stuff, and sooner or later will crack and fall out. So you want to make it so that the thing that you're putting in, whatever compound it is, doesn't even matter what it is not adhering to loose things. So you just want to get rid of as many as you can. I mean, it's not perfect because there will always be some loose something probably in a hole, but do your best. Just get rid of all the really, really loose stuff. And it makes it just so that the bond will be better with the actual, like in this case I say wall, but it doesn't have to be a wall, it's bond with whatever it needs to bond with, the existing material. And I've learned this, through personal experience with many, many times that I did not do this, and I was just sort of in a hurry. I was like, I don't want to clean up after myself. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to do it really fast. And 6 months later, there was a crack around the hole. Speaking of which, I got to fill these cracks too. But I don't think this is the right material for doing this. I need a finer material. Yes, you might be wondering why am I wearing my ear protection for this, because in between all these I am doing a little bit of chiseling to open up some of these holes or just get things out of the wall or whatever. So rather than take them off and put them on, take them off and put them on, I'm just leaving them on. Could I vacuum this out? Yeah, I probably could. But just don't care to sort of, the vacuum's not nearby. I just don't care to go through the effort to bring the vacuum all the way over here. Wow, I so should have brought the vacuum for this one. Got a smaller trowel, or trowel, maybe, spatula, don't know. Yes, I'm being very sloppy. And I just noticed that after giving a recommendation to scrape the holes, that I neglected to scrape these holes. Some of you might be saying I should be protecting the floor, but this floor is going to be dug up so that we can put underfloor heating anyway, so there's no real reason to care about it. This time I'm remembering. Most of these holes are the holes left from the I don't even know, the supports, the brackets that held the radiators in place. They were, of course, very strong and therefore very deep, and so therefore made really big holes when I took them out. New batch. Hopefully it'll be a little firmer and hold a little bit better. And am I doing every single hole? No, there are still holes to be made. But I'm just starting with the holes that I've already made. Yeah, that's much better. Much better mixture, Matt. Learn from my mistakes. To say there's a difference between when you're doing work for someone else and you're doing work for yourself. I will absolutely sort of take the time and go a little slower and get everything just the way I want it, since this is where I'm going to be living. If I did this for a client, I'd just be like, bam, bam, good enough. So I'm just kidding, I wouldn't. But there are companies that, you know, you hire, and that's generally their attitude. Just get it done and move on to the next. Not doing that one all the way to the plaster because I'm probably going to have to replaster it anyways, due to all the water damage that was here. But I need to get the hole behind the plaster. Darn it. The hole behind the plaster sort of secured in order to be able to put plaster over it. If you're a professional at this or have any expertise at this, I would always love advice. So please drop a comment trying to tell me maybe how to do it faster or more efficiently. In this case, I know I probably should have put a brick there to create some stability to then, you know, basically put all this around that brick. But this will work, it will just take longer. So this is what I ended up doing. So nice flat and level on that one. This one's sort of behind the plaster, as I said, because I'll probably come back and plaster the wall instead of trying to, hold on. Instead of trying to actually make it level with the wall. Because I got to redo the wall anyways, as you can see from all the water damage. And all these, so this one down here saying basic things, staying behind the plaster. But up here, you know, going to the plaster because there is plaster. And over here, basically I just did like one layer. So I started out down here, I'll let that dry, and then I'll come back and do more layers to fill in the rest. So now we're on to third coat. That's our second coat dried, theoretically. Oh well, 3 hours. Sorry. Now we're on to the third coat. So what we're seeing on the wall is a dried second coat. And it's got some nice characteristics to it, but I'm still not sure about it. I still think it needs more. I know there's a thing where they say like do all one strokes in one direction, then in the next direction on the next coat, all that. Like, I don't even want it to be that organized. I sort of just want chaos to sort of just naturally create something for us rather than organized patterns creating some effect. And I'll tell you, in the afternoon, this color looks very pink, pinkish, peachy. In the morning, it was way, 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 way richer. It's interesting how colors change based on the light. Of course, I know this because I teach it, but it's still always interesting to see it in action. Yes, I'm probably leaving way too much paint on the brush, thus my splattering everywhere. But I'm trying to do sort of thick coats. I don't want these super thin coats because I don't want to end up doing like 9 layers of this. Yeah. At the moment, I like this density, but it's going to dry down incredibly, so this is not the end result. So we'll see. Third layer, third coat. So what I did was I did 3 coats of paint with the wash, so that may have been too much, may not be enough. We'll see based on our reactions.
Just see what's... Okay. Okay, I don't like it.
The technique or the color?
Both.
Why not? Give me more than just I don't like it.
It looks like it's dirty. It looks like a horrible job, pretty much.
Well, okay, just to be clear, don't look at the edges, because those are, you're seeing
I'm looking
layers
everywhere.
of
I don't like it.
the middle.
It doesn't. To me, it doesn't look like it was done on purpose. It looks like it's been done poorly. You like it?
Well, the edges certainly look like they've been done poorly, that's for sure. Natalie, you're
Natalie is
escaping.
also not impressed. No, seriously, you like it?
I'm not sure if I like it or not. Like, it's just sort of, it's different. That's sort of the thing that attracts me to it.
Well, not every different is good.
It's true, not every different is good, but some different
Maybe
is.
some people can weigh in to tell us
All right,
if they
comments.
like it.
So over here on the left, we've got lime washed. And over here, basically, we've got traditional paint from the previous. The color, we're both not a huge fan of necessarily, but the question is this technique of this sort of mottled, layered thing versus traditional, even coated paint. I mean, I like the idea in the living room. That's it, at the moment, just the living room.
Sorry, Natalie
Yes, I
doesn't
see
want
what
to
Natalie's
stay
doing.
in the living room. It's certainly not baby-proofed here, so...
There's no Chi-Chi in here.
There's a Chi-Chi, but there's no Chi-Chi.
There used to be a Chi-Chi, but in this room.
Chi-Chi is a cat. It's, you know.
Yes, for the listeners that don't know Natalie language, Chi-Chi means cat. That's her. Chi-Chi, meow.
So, unfortunately, I'm not impressed and persuaded to go with the lime wash.
Nene.
safe. Doesn't look like.
Yeah, it's pretty for her weight. It will be, yes. Not your weight or my weight. It's a screw with an anchor. She knows where it goes. That's where it's supposed to go. It is supposed to be in the wall. That's where it's supposed to be. That's right. I took it out. I love that she knows to walk over the little bridge and not over the hole.
Well, until one day she forgets. Okay, good.
Nah. You want to put it back in the wall? How do you know that that's supposed to be in the wall?
Maybe she watched you.
She literally just put it in the wall.
No. Sorry.
I agree, I don't like the color.
Well, the color is ugly. I agree with that, but it looks like. Yeah, it's just looks like it was done with someone who doesn't know how to do it right. The strokes are too visible and not in a good way, I think.
Again, I go with, I like it just because it feels different than normal walls. Maybe with multiple layers, like 5 layers, the sponge technique might work.
Okay.
But not with just like one, I sponged somebody's bathroom. They wanted the sponge texture. It was just ugly.
Okay.
But that was done with acrylic paint and all that. So that's different than this would be. So I guess at this point, I'll try the sponge because why not? You know, we have time between now and when we actually need to do this. And we've already bought the paint. All I have to now do is buy it.
And you have only this color or some other color?
Yes, this is the color we chose.
Is it?
It
Wow.
is.
I chose a horrible color.
Anyways, it didn't look like that on the internet. But
It's true. It was lovely on the internet.
yeah. So I mean, I can try sponge technique. I mean, I just have to go back to Hornbach and get a sponge. So okay. So no to the technique. Try technique number 2.
Good.
I was going around and putting this white stuff, and then I realized that. Hold on, let's get the. No. Putting this sort of spackle-ish material in, but it's not really spackle, it's too wet. But then I realized there are cracks everywhere, and then I started realizing, oh my gosh, you know, since I'm waiting on the permits, I need to do the walls, because the walls look like crap. First thing that I want to do is get this wallpaper off, because I've done wallpaper before and it sucks. So removing wallpaper is my first thing, because I've been looking at this wallpaper here since the beginning going, God, I don't want to go through the same issue I went through at my parents' house. My parents had, when they went into their retirement community, they had, gosh, 3 or 4 rooms with wallpaper on every wall. And it was a nightmare to get off. But luckily, this is not a nightmare to get off because they put it over a previous layer of paint. So really all I have to do is just take off that previous layer of paint and the wallpaper comes with it. So that's nice-ish. And it's only this little sliver of wall too. It's not a lot of wall. Ooh, big long stretch. Okay. But all the walls need some amount of flattening, leveling. They're all textured in this old Czech way of. It's like it's what I would equate to like popcorn ceilings in the U.S., but for walls, they just like do it, and they do it like good enough. It's like they don't want to put the effort into to actually make the wall smooth. So they're like, yeah, this texture's good. We'll just call that our new wall. This textured idea. So, anyways, it's everywhere, this textured wall, and I don't love it. So, gonna have to figure out a way to remove it or cover it. It's probably going to be just cover it with something and then sand it down to something smoother. I mean, I may not get it perfectly flat, but I could certainly get better than the existing walls. Baby! Oh, hi, Natalie. Do you have some cheese? Hi. Cheese. How's it going? You having a good day? Oh, cheese. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes, it's a camera.
No.
Mm.
No.
No, no? You don't want the camera looking at you?
Chop.
Okay. Ugly faux wood wallpaper. Finally gone. That's nice. Still got to get rid of the glue here though.